All right, we're not just going to read a chapter today, we're going to step inside it. We're going to walk through Matthew 28, verse by verse, moment by moment, and build a story in our minds that's just impossible to forget. So, let's get into it. Our story kicks off in the quiet. You can almost feel the world holding its breath. For Jesus' followers, hope was dead, sealed up behind a massive stone. Grief is just hanging in the air like this thick, heavy fog. It's a time of waiting, of total uncertainty, a deep, dark silence right before everything is about to change.
So, this first part of our story, it all unfolds in that pre-dawn gloom, a moment of doubt that is about to be completely shattered.
Verse 1. I want you to picture this. The sky is that deep, bruised purple, just starting to get a little gray on the horizon. And you see two figures, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary, moving through that cold morning air. You can tell their steps are heavy, right? They're walking with this mix of duty and sorrow, heading towards a place that represents total finality.
Verse 2. And then, bam, the world just breaks open. The ground doesn't just tremble, it heaves. And from the sky, a being of pure light comes down like a meteor. Just imagine this celestial figure walking up to this giant stone. I mean, this thing is a symbol of Roman power, and just flicking it aside like it's a pebble. And then, he just sits on it. So casual. A total statement of authority over death itself.
Verse 3. Now let's zoom in on the angel. The description is, well, it's terrifyingly beautiful. His face isn't just bright, it's described as lightning, like a crackle of raw, untamed energy. And his clothes aren't just white. It's a blinding, impossible white that seems to glow from within. This is not some gentle, soft-focus being. This is a vision of awesome, overwhelming power. Just let that image hang there for a second. This is what greets the women. A being made of celestial fire, just casually sitting on the very thing that was supposed to seal a tomb and a prophecy forever.
Verse 4. Okay, now look over at the Roman guards. These are tough guys, right? Hardened soldiers, the symbol of the empire's might. But faced with this, they're completely broken. They start shaking so uncontrollably that they just collapse. Their faces are frozen in pure terror, like statues that have just been knocked over. Earthly power just came face to face with real power.
So this terrifying event, it now makes a pivot. It goes from being this raw display of power to the delivery of a message that's about to change the world.
Verse 5. The angel speaks, and his voice just cuts right through all that chaos. Imagine its tone shifting from all that terrifying power to a direct, calm reassurance just for the women. Do not be afraid. He knows exactly why they're there. And then, verse 6. He says the words that flip history on its head. He is not here, and gives the reason, for he is risen, just as he said. See, it's not a surprise, it's a promise fulfilled. Then he gestures to the dark opening of the tomb, inviting them to see the impossible, an empty slab of rock where a body ought to be.
Verse 7. Now the women aren't just witnesses, they're given a mission. And the angel lays it out in 4 clear, urgent steps. This isn't a suggestion, it's a command from heaven. And in that one moment, they go from being mourners to being the very first messengers of the resurrection.
Verse 8. Picture them running, not walking, running. Their hearts are just hammering in their chests, filled with 2 powerful, clashing emotions all at once, that leftover terror of what they just saw, and this explosive, unbelievable joy that makes them feel like they could just take flight. They're basically a walking paradox, running on fear and adrenaline and a hope that is just too big to comprehend. Okay, this next part, this is the emotional heart of the story. This is where that unbelievable message becomes an undeniable reality.
Verse 9. So as they're running down this path, suddenly, he's just there. Jesus himself is standing right in front of them, and his first word, rejoice. Their reaction is instant. They just collapse, not out of fear this time, but in pure worship, and they grab hold of his feet. Now this is a crucial detail. This is not a ghost. This is a solid, real resurrected body they are holding on to. Then in verse 10, his voice is gentle. He says the same thing the angel did. Do not be afraid. And he repeats the mission, but he adds this personal touch, calling the disciples my brethren.
But, while this miracle is happening on a dusty road, a totally different story is taking shape back in the city. The tone here shifts, big time. We're going from holy to conspiratorial. Verse 11. So imagine those same guards, the ones who were left for dead. They've finally pulled themselves together. They stumble back into the city, burst into the rooms of the chief priests, and the story just comes pouring out. An earthquake, a being of light, an empty tomb, all of it.
Verse 12. So what's the reaction from the authorities? Is it awe? An investigation? Nope, it's immediate damage control. You can just picture the scene. The elders are huddled together, their voices low and urgent. A decision is made. And then you see it. A heavy bag of coins is pushed across a table. This is the price of a lie.
Verse 13, here's the lie they're paid to spread. His disciples came at night and stole him while we slept. Then verse 14, the priests offer them protection. They tell the guards, listen, if this gets back to the governor, we'll handle it. We'll keep you out of trouble. And this is a huge deal. For a Roman soldier, falling asleep on watch was a death sentence. The size of that bribe and this promise, it just shows you how desperate they were to kill this story.
Verse 15. And just like that, the deal is done. The soldiers grab the money, and the officially approved lie is set loose. The false story starts to spread person to person, and it becomes the competing narrative, the other explanation for that undeniably empty tomb. Now for the final act. The scene shifts. We leave all that chaos and conspiracy in the city behind, and we head to a quiet mountain in Galilee for the story's ultimate climax.
Verse 16, the 11 disciples, what's left of the original 12, they obey the command and travel to this specific mountain. And then verse 17, he's there. And when they see Jesus, their main reaction is just worship. They fall on their faces. But the Bible includes this incredibly raw, honest detail, but some doubt it. Just imagine that. You've got some guys totally in awe, and right next to them are others thinking, is this for real? That one little phrase makes the whole scene feel so incredibly human.
Verse 18. And then Jesus speaks, and his words are designed to just wipe away all that doubt. This isn't the humble teacher from Galilee anymore. He speaks now with absolute, cosmic authority, and he makes the staggering claim. All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. He's basically declaring his reign over, well, everything.
Verse 19. And with that ultimate authority, he gives them their final mission, what we now call the Great Commission. He tells them to go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them. Then, verse 20, they're supposed to teach these new disciples to obey everything he commanded. I mean, the task is massive. It's impossible, really. But it doesn't end with a threat. It ends with the most powerful promise he could possibly give. And surely, I am with you always to the very end of the age.
And that's where we end, with this group of flawed, sometimes doubting guys standing on a mountain who have just been given an impossible job and an eternal promise. The final command is out there, a command that would light a fire and change the course of human history forever. And it leaves us with a question that just echoes down through time. What happens next?